the viral sermon moment that's got everyone talking. Prophet Joel Ogebe drops iShowSpeed wisdom in church. If you've been scrolling lately, especially in Ghana, Nigeria, or anywhere the African internet is popping, you've probably seen the clips of Prophet Joel Ogebe, also known as Apostle Joel Ogebe, preaching and casually name-dropping iShowSpeed like it's the most normal thing in a Sunday service. This blew up big time in late January 2026, right after Speed's Wild Africa tour, and it's still trending hard on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and X. People are calling it the most unexpected but fire sermon of the year. What exactly happened? In a powerful message about discipline, independence, consistency, and seizing the now, Prophet Joel, a young, energetic Nigerian prophet known for deep teachings on value and media, looks at his congregation and says something like, "There's this young man I watch. He say iShowSpeed or something. That's his name. How many of you know him? Do you know when that guy started YouTube? 2021. And recently I read that because of how big his streaming is, they paid him $600 million. This young man in 2021 said he will stream 6 hours every day. He even admits it breaks his heart. Not because of Speed screaming, Ronaldo obsession, or chaotic energy, but because a 21-year-old kid from America built an empire with just a phone and raw discipline, while many young Africans and Christians are still being babied by parents at 25, 30, waiting for one day. He ties it beautifully to the Bible and real life. When we talk about the wealth of the Gentiles, you need to look for their discipline. There's no future for anybody. There's only now in my word. If you don't use the now, well, there's no future for you. Consistency is not the power. The power is consistency in putting out value. He even shouts out Nigerian comedian Sabinus, Mr. Funny, who went from skits to private jets. Same lesson. Start small, stay consistent, create value. The whole point? Stop praying only for miracles and start acting like the world does when it comes to hard work. Teach your kids independence early. Learn AI, drop content daily, build something. Prayer plus wisdom plus action. Dominion. Why did this go mega viral? A respected prophet watching iShowSpeed? Unheard of. Instead of condemning the streamer, like some expect, he celebrated the discipline behind the madness. That twist caught everybody. It dropped right when Speed was in Nigeria, doing backflips, meeting fans, causing chaos, and even getting gifted a Bible by a fan. Perfect timing. Clips titled, "Watch How Prophet Joel Spoke About iShowSpeed," racked up hundreds of thousands of views in days. Comments are full of, "This word is for me, oh," and parents saying, "My children will never suffer what I suffered." Other pastors joined the conversation too. Pastor Robert Barale, Kenya, praised Speed. He does not involve himself in negativity. That's why he's successful. A Ghanaian pastor used the moment. Peller got ignored by Speed as a teaching point. Sometimes it's not about how big you are. Your approach matters. Drop ego, respect their world. Pastor Bolaji Idowu even built an entire sermon around Speed's Nigeria visit, using the hype to teach about influence and culture. It's beautiful how faith leaders are meeting Gen Z where they are, using memes, streamers, and trending moments to drop timeless truth. Bottom line, this preaching on iShowSpeed isn't shade, it's inspiration. A wild streamer became a surprise sermon illustration for discipline, value, and starting now. Speed probably has no idea his 6-hour screaming sessions inspired a whole prophetic message. But hey, God works in mysterious and very loud ways. If you want the full sermon links, more clips, or even a funny remix summary, just say the word. This one was genuinely wonderful. Real talk that hits different. What part stood out to you most? Watch the following videos below and share your thoughts.
There's a boy that I've been watching recently. He breaks my heart. You see, the problem, please, if you have children here, don't train them the way Africans train their children. Give them discipline, but teach them an independent life early. You are 25, 28 years old, you are still with your parents, they'll tell you are just still growing now. Hey, no, be just now you start grow. They don't train you to be independent and creative. So at 30 years old, you are now stepping out of your parents' house confused. This is young man I watch. He said, iShowSpeed or something, that's his name. How many of you know him? Do you know when that guy started YouTube? 2021. 2021 here. Do you know recently I read that they just, because of how big his streaming is, they paid him $600 million. You've been watching YouTube since 2018. Do you know 2020 and 2021 was a Kairos moment? That was when my ministry started to rise. The Lord told me, He said, now I'm beginning to give portions to the prophets I will use for the next generation. I prophesied at that time. That was when we started streaming and preaching every day straight for close to 1 year. This young man in 2021, he was saying he will stream 6 hours every day. When we talk about the wealth of the Gentiles, you need to look for their discipline. While there's a Nigerian brother who prays a lot, who is using his phone to watch comedy, Sabinus. 2021, 4 years later, the guy is flying private jets all over the world. In fact, he has taken his stream from his parlor, is now touring nations. Even with our pastors, don't have that kind of command of crowd. If he comes to a street now and says, okay, now we are in Bologna, before you know, people, I say, what kind of influence is this? Just from sitting at home with a phone. I know someone thinks I'm carnal now. Sir, prayer cannot deliver a man whose mind has not first been delivered. I tell you the truth, I lie not. The Lord told me one day, He said, there's no future for anybody. There's only now and my word. If you don't use the now well, there's no future for you. It's only now. So I told my people in the house, I said, now that AI is becoming a big thing, go and start learning it. AI video, go and start learning it and then look for how to incorporate it to everyday life. Go and start mastering it. But guess what? Our brothers will be taught prayer powers 12 hours every day for 3 months. Yeah, they can't create one thing. Is prayer bad? No. Now, the problem we have in Africa is that the moment you begin to say these things...
Recently, iShowSpeed came to Nigeria, and some of your biggest celebrities, when you hear them speak and comment on issue, they disgraced us. Then you will notice that, you know what, the race is not to the swift. Because when it comes to creating content, creating things, they're very good at that. But when it comes to having high-level intellectual decision, where questions are being asked, they're not good at that. But the reason why you think they are smarter than you is because you see them in their gift. But the reason why you think you're not smart is because you're comparing yourself in another person's gift. You're not comparing yourself in your own gift. If you judge a fish by the ability to fly, the fish is a failure. But if you judge the fish by the ability to swim, then the fish will succeed. When you've not discovered your assignment, you begin to find yourself frustrated. And I'll give you an example. Imagine someone that takes a knife and begins to use it to dig a hole in the soil. The truth is that it will make some progress, but it will not make all progress. And the reason why is that the assignment of the knife is not to dig what? It's not to dig the soil. That is the work of a hoe. That's the work of a farming implement. Some of you, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just in the wrong place. If you judge a fish out of water, you will never see his gift. But if you judge the fish by the ability to swim, then the fish will succeed.